Hey everyone, today I'm taking a look at LOQ, which is a word-driven party game for 2 to 20 players. This one takes around 20 minutes to play on average, and you can play LOQ in 2 different modes. You can either play it cooperatively by working with your friends, or competitively by splintering off into groups, and of course the player or group with the most points will win in a competitive game. But in a cooperative game, you'll be using these cards as a bit of a gauge to see how well you've done. So you can see here, if we have a really poor effort by having between 1 and 16 points at the end, we'll be ranked as poor. But if we do really well, by getting 65 points plus, will be ranked as sensational, and so on. And this game can be played in 4 different difficult levels. So this one you can see is the level 2 card, but it does go up to level 4, where of course the scoring is going to be a bit more lenient, because it's going to be that much more difficult in terms of the words we are given. Now, you have some additional components here, such as the actual word cards, and there's a ton of these to play with. I believe there's over 6,000 words in this game, so you've definitely got some longevity here. You've got the timer here, which is how long you've got to explain these words on the cards. And you also have this little reference card here, which shows the different categories of the words on each card, because you can see here that they correspond to the different words on the cards here. So you've got the people and places, you've got adjectives, nouns, the phrases, the verbs, and also a keyword each round. And the keyword is going to change from round after round depending on the round card. So you can see here in the first round, the keyword is going to be the nouns. And so this is going to change as the game develops. Now, this is going to be the round deck here, and every time the first round is going to have no special rules, but as you go through this deck, they might change the way the game functions. Like, for example, in this particular round, we are going to be able to give or reveal the first word, or the first letter of each word that you are trying to give out. And these are going to be lots of different things, such as the memory one here, where the teams can listen to their describer in silence and try to remember all the words before they give their guesses out. So that makes it quite a bit more difficult. And this one here, the team spirit one, means that you have 2 describers for the round, and you're going to go back and forth. And this one here, you always play a difficulty higher, and so on. So you've got some good little variability there in terms of little special rules and little bits of spice you could add into the game. So let's just say we ended up playing on the level 2 difficulty here. So what's going to happen is that the describer is going to reveal the card they are going to be using, and of course they're going to keep that secret from the other players. And then you're going to have 45 seconds using this timer here to try and get your teammates to guess the words that you have on your card here, by of course abiding by certain standard rules, such as not being able to rhyme and not being able to use foreign languages equivalents to give these clues out. So, for example, here, just say Frank. I might say, what's the Punisher's first real name? What's something in space that sucks you in? It's a black blank, and so on. So you're trying to give all these clues out to try and get your teammates to guess as quickly as you can. Again, trying to get those extra points based on what the keyword is for the round, and also the phrase category is also always worth an extra point there. And another thing is, if you have some time remaining at the end of the round, you can go to the next category and start trying to work on those as well. And you can see here the difference in difficulty ranges quite a lot from the yellow category here with quite easy words all the way up to that really difficult red category where the words are a lot more difficult. So that's it really, that's how the game works. Of course, you're going to keep on going until you play through these fixed amount of rounds, and either you're going to grade your scoring based on the card here, or you are going to compare your scores with the other teams, and the team with the most points is going to win in a competitive game, and of course you're going to use this for a cooperative game. So as you can probably tell, there are a lot of games like this on the market, but I have to say LOQ is a really good one, and that is because of how versatile the game is. Of course, you have those 2 game modes you can play on, so if you want something a bit more relaxed, you can play cooperatively, or if you are a really competitive group, of course, you can splinter off into those groups and try to compete against each other. I think the 45 seconds is a spot-on time frame on how to get these clues out. Doesn't take too long, keeps the game moving along quickly, and it puts you under pressure. And I also love how versatile you can be in terms of the difficulty of the cards, because there is a big range there, so you can kind of tailor the game to what you want it to be. And there's also a great longevity here with all the cards you can play with. And I like the way that all these different round cards add a little nugget of interest each round. Like, for example, this one, if you don't guess the keyword, you're going to lose 2 points. Or this one here, where you can only make one guess per word that's given out by the describer. Or this one here, you can only give 4-word clues. This one here, you can only give 3-word clues, and so on. As you can see here, these don't mess with the game too much to make it confusing or convoluted, but they add a little bit of interest to keep thinking what's coming up next. And there is also a little expansion pack that comes out, and I believe it comes with the game at the moment if you order it, where you have some additional round cards here where all guessers must play with their eyes closed, so I suppose you can't give any of those non-verbal clues. And describers move up a level each time a word is guessed correctly. This one here looks like you can use more gestures. 1-syllable words can only be used, and so on. So they had a little bit of interest there, and I think that's actually a good wrinkle to the game and makes it feel different to other games out there. So I think this is really nice how it all comes in a nice little succinct box. It's one of those games that anybody can play really. For me, a kind of a litmus test that I use to judge how versatile and how accessible games are is if my dad would play them. And I've played this with my dad now, and he really enjoys it because he's a complete non-gamer, but I got this one to the table. He understood the rules within a matter of seconds, and we were good to go, and we all had a great time. So this is kind of an evergreen style game, really, one that you can bring out in big groups and holidays. Everybody's going to know how the game works because of things they've played in the past, but it's just a good, concise version of it with those little bits extra, especially that versatility that takes it above and beyond and makes it a banker for me. So I think this is a really cool game. I would recommend it if you like your party games and you play with non-gamers a lot. And I really do advise you go out and check it out on the website, and I'll leave the link in the notes if you are interested in picking up a copy. So that is my thoughts on LOQ.